Good evening, Rams. Today we are doing rates. All right, here we go. Your standard today is 6.4D. Give examples of rates as the comparison by division of two quantities having different attributes, including rates as quotients. So what this means is a rate is a comparison of two things by division. Okay, so what this would mean is, let's do an example. Chris drove 107 miles in 2 hours. So we are comparing miles and hours. So the rate is 107 miles in 2 hours. So right here, if I wanted to find his rate of how many miles he's driving in 1 hour, I would put miles to hours, and I want to find out how many miles he's driving in 1 hour. So let me change that, get that S off there because it's not going to be plural. Okay, so then I would divide 107 divided by 2, and so we would have 53.5 miles per hour, or 53.5 miles for 1 hour is his rate, is what he is driving. So that is our comparison of two things by division. So we would just take 107 divided by 2, and that gives us his, what we call a unit rate. Now the unit rate right here is a rate in which the second quantity is 1. So see how my second quantity right here is 1. So we're scaling down to 1, just kind of like in proportions and ratios. We are multiplying up, and sometimes we have to scale down to go back up. Well, this one we are scaling down to 1. So a unit rate, we are scaling down to 1. Okay, so examples right here. If we had 16 campers in 4 cabins, that comparison by division would be the 16 campers in each cabin. We would see how many go into 4 cabins. Sorry, let me explain that. It'd be 16 campers in 4 cabins. So it would be how many campers are in each cabin. And then $3.98 for 2 egg cartons. So how much money for each egg carton or 1 egg carton? 240 miles in 4 hours. Well, how many miles per hour? And then 96 miles on 3 gallons of gas. Well, how many miles per gallon of gas? All right, so let's go do this word problem right here and do it for a unit rate. A cruise ship travels 60 miles in 20 minutes. How far does the ship travel per minute? All right, so we're going to set it up, and we're going to see we have 1 minute. If I can even spell minute. All right, so we have 1 minute. And then miles. So we have miles to minutes. And then how do I get from 20 to 1? Well, I divide by 20. And then I'm going to divide by 20, because what I do on the bottom, I have to do to the top, and vice versa. So my unit rate is going to be 3 miles per minute. So the unit rate is 3 miles per minute. Jobberton Rams. Okay, down here. So we have Antonio washes 3 cars in 45 minutes. What is the rate in which he washes each car? Okay, so we're going to set up our hashtag, because remember, this is still a proportional relationship. So we're going to have cars to minutes. And so he washes 3 cars in 45 minutes. And and it says what is the rate which he washes each car? Well, I don't have a number. It just says each car. So in this word problem, each is 1. So we're going to go, how do I go from 3 to 1? Well, we're scaling down. So where do we divide by 3? And what we do to the top, we do to the bottom. divide by 3, and divide by 3. We get 15. So Antonio washes 15 cars washes one car in 15 minutes. How do you determine whether you are trying to solve cars per minute or minutes per car? Well, look at your hashtag. So remember how we label the hashtag. All right, let's go answer this question up here. What is the difference between a rate and a unit rate? Well, a unit rate, unit rate is a quantity of one. So hence the word unit. So when you hear a unit rate, it means a quantity of one. Unit and one. All right, moving on to the next page. All right, now we can compare our rates by finding the unit rate. And that is what we are going to do right here. So in this word problem, you can buy 3 apples at the Quick Mart for $1.35. You can buy 5 of the same apples at the Stop and Save for $2.40. Which place is the better buy? Okay, so when you are comparing which place has the better buy, you're going to want to find what you pay cheaper for the unit price. So you want to see how much you are being charged for one apple. When I say unit price, that is the price for one apple. So at the Quick Mart, we have 3 apples. So we're doing apples to price. And we have 3 apples at $1.35. Then I need to find the price for 1 apple. So I'm going to divide by 3 and divide by 3, and that is 45 cents. Okay, so now we're going to go to the Stop and Save, because remember, I'm comparing which one is going to be the best unit price. So I have apples to price. I want to figure out which one is going to be the better buy. Where am I going to save the most money? So I have 5 apples to $2.40. And remember, I'm just not going to look at the 5 to $2.40 or the 3 $1.35. I need to see which one is the less price for the 1 apple. So I have 1 apple. I'm going to divide by 5. And what I do to the top, I do to the bottom. So I divide by 5. And that gives me 48 cents. So at Stop and Save for 1 apple, it's 48 cents. And at Quick Mart for 1 apple, it's 45 cents. So which place is the better buy? Well, I would rather buy at the Quick Mart because I'm going to save 3 cents for 1 apple. Another way I can compare rates is for like my salary or my wages. So yourself makes $57.75 for working 7 hours. What is his hourly rate of pay? Okay, so we are going to have hours to pay. Okay, so 7 hours. In 7 hours, he makes $57.75. So we want to know what is his hourly rate of pay. So hourly rate is for 1 hour. So we're going to down to 1, scaling down to 1. So we're going to divide by 7 and divide by 7. So that gives us $8.25. So he makes $8.25 in 1 hour. All right, good job, Rams. Okay, moving on. Describe your strategy for comparing 2 stores for a better price. So what strategy did I use here? That I said, how am I going to know which one is the better buy? Good job. Well, I found the unit price of each product and compared them. All right. Good job, Rams. Hope you have a good evening. Don't forget to do your summary, and we will see you tomorrow.